the polls slated for February next year, are you confident the elections will go through? We've seen a delay over and over again.
Well, the timetable, according to the Constitution, is that elections should be held sometime between February and May. So I'm not sure that they will be in February, but we are still confident that they should be held in the first half of next year.
What will your Democrat Party bring to the table? Why should people be voting for you?
Well, I think we offer a different alternative. We think the country needs to move away from the current somewhat conservative and bureaucratic and centralized regime, which cannot address some of the fast changes happening in the world. We do not think the country should go back to regimes that are corrupt and centered around populist policies which are not sustainable. We bring to the table a different path, a liberal democratic path, and one that recognizes now that the challenges of inequality is huge, so that we want to see a paradigm shift, not just in terms of taking Thai politics away from confrontational politics and addressing the issues that matter to people, but also that we will have an elected government that actually has a clear path for sustainability in terms of not just having a healthy economic growth, but stability, respect for the environment, and most importantly, addressing the issue of inequality.
Even if your party were to win, there is a chance you may have to work with the current Prime Minister, Prayuth Chan-Ocha, because the Constitution's been amended and a legal framework is being worked on right now to put the military still in charge. How would you go about doing that, or what are your views on that?
We are going into the elections offering a clear alternative for the people. We will ask the people for support. If they give us enough support, we would be the core of the government, and we would dictate what kind of policies that should be implemented. The Democrat Party is not interested in joining any party that will take the country in the wrong direction.
So the Constitution needs to be amended again, in your view?
I think we can, if we have enough support from the elections, if we can put together a coalition after the elections and govern, we can govern and implement our policies. In the meantime, the issue of the Constitution itself needs to be addressed. There are some undemocratic elements, there are some provisions that could be obstacles to the things that we want to do for the good of the country, but we would seek a broad consensus, because we don't want the Constitution to be yet another conflict point.
You helped orchestrate the fall of the last government. Given what has transpired over the last 4 years, having the military in power, do you now view that it was possibly a mistake that you did?
No, my stance was that I did not accept a corrupt government, and I offered a path before the coup where I believe there should be agreement among political parties for some kind of transitional arrangement. Unfortunately, the governing party at the time did not want to discuss that alternative. So I don't think that the country has to choose between a corrupt regime and a dictatorial one. The Thai people deserve better, and the Democrat Party will do its best to represent that better alternative.
Post-elections, what policies are needed for Thailand to go forward?
Well, there's a need for a quick revival of the economy, not the broad GDP figure, but the income of ordinary people, particularly in rural areas. They have been hit hard over the last 4 years. In many provinces, their incomes have actually declined. So we need an active, proactive policies that will help farmers, for instance. And also we need to move forward to make sure that there is better security for people. Thailand has a challenge of becoming an aged society very fast. We have yet to design a more comprehensive and adequate welfare system. The Democrat Party has in the past and will continue to implement policies like income subsidies, which could be a precursor to some form of universal basic income, which might be needed given the disruptions caused by technology in the future.
Some say that your party's policies are pretty outdated. Your response?
I think the policies that I have mentioned just now are far more progressive than what many countries are practicing. So no, it's not a question of having outdated policies. I recognize in the past that the appeal of some of our policies could not match the populist policies of our rivals. But those policies have now proved to fail again and again, and has caused considerable damage, has opened the door for corruption. Our policies in the past may not be as exciting, but most of them can be sustained and have been for the good of the people. Free education, some income for the elderly, income subsidies for farmers. These are policies that can still work and can be improved upon.